Thank you, Balram.
Mr. Misra, a new mayor for Bangalore will be elected this week. No one seems to know what exactly is the job of a mayor. Can you throw some light on it?
First of all, I would like to make a little correction. The mayor will not be elected, it will be selected. I think that's where the problem lies, and we will discuss a little bit more about election versus selection. First, let's discuss about what is the job of Bangalore mayor and what exactly he should be doing, and then we'll say what he is doing. Now, in the current situation of Bangalore, the executive responsibility is not with mayor, it is with the commissioner. Mayor is supposed to preside over all the meetings of the council, which is the BBMP council, which has 200 corporators. Mayor also advises, or rather you say directs, the executive head, which is the commissioner, who is an IAS officer, to do whatever is approved in the council. However, the executive responsibility is not with the mayor, and all the projects which are proposed or all the resolutions usually are done by the council. So, mayor to a large extent has become mostly a ceremonial post.
So, Mr. Misra, no responsibility, no accountability. Hasn't the mayor's post become redundant?
I would not say that no responsibility, no accountability. The post itself has responsibility, also accountability. Unfortunately, the kind of people we are putting there, I do believe that neither do they have the caliber, nor do they have maybe willingness, because as you rightly said, if it was elected, would have been different. But now he is a selected, he or she is a selected mayor. And now if he is been selected by somebody who happens to be a godfather, I think mayor's loyalty lies to the person. And we all know who are the few godfathers who are responsible for this state of the city.
Mr. Misra, until the day mayor is appointed, people in most parts of the city haven't even heard of his or her name. How can we change this and ensure that someone known to the people becomes mayor?
I think this is something which we have, when I say we, the civil society. Unfortunately, there is a huge disconnect between the people of Bangalore and the people who run Bangalore. And this, I think, has led to the situation. First of all, I think the system of having mayor for 1 year is absolutely not correct. Mayor, I think the Latin word, the meaning of the mayor means greater. He is supposed to be the highest authority of the city. I think in our case, we call the person the worshipful mayor. So, we all kind of give a meaning to the word, we also give the meaning to the post, but there is no substance in that post. So, today if somebody is favorite of some minister, somebody is favorite of some party person, and there is no other qualification required. Of course, you have to be some scheduled caste, some OBC or something, that is another. I think it is ridiculous that you have so many different kind of reservations. Now, suppose you have a particular caste reservation and you do not find anybody and only one person is there, irrespective of his qualification, irrespective of his background, irrespective of his credentials, he or she gets elected because that post is reserved for that caste. I mean, this is beyond ridiculous.
Mr. Misra, like you said, it is a ceremonial place, a ceremonial post. Mayors are always seen, as citizens see, mayors are busy cutting ribbons, receiving VIPs at airport, being chief guests at various functions, or even visiting foreign junkets, visiting foreign countries on junkets. So is the post of deputy mayor. Is that post also not redundant like mayors?
I think in current scenario, both the posts have no meaning, and I think they should be abolished, because unnecessary the time of people is being wasted. There is a lot of lobbying, and I believe that a lot of money is changing hands. And what happens, this mayoral election is also delaying the budget, because with the mayor all the standing committees also change, and standing committees are supposed to be approving the various allocations in the budget. Last year we were delayed by almost 6 months in the budget. Budget is supposed to be, as per the law, supposed to be presented in to the council in the first week of February, and it should be up and about by end of March, so that it can be implemented from 1st April. I believe last year the budget was presented in August, then the state government sat on it, finally it got approved in December. Now you have only 4 months left or 3 months left, I mean January, February, March. And this time also I am told, though I was part of some of the proposals which are supposed to be included in the budget, I also believe they have been included, but everything is waiting for mayor to be elected. Given that mayor has hardly any role to play, this election, this lobbying, this push and pull delays the whole process. So I see just,
So Bangalore suffers.
Bangalore suffers, just drop the mayor and deputy mayor. Why do you have them? There is no reason to have them. In fact, unfortunately, as you said, they receive the dignitaries, and I have seen embarrassing situations where sister cities like San Francisco and cities like London, imagine those mayors coming and meeting our mayors. I am not trying to pass any judgment, but look at the caliber, the capability and the pride they have in their cities versus our mayors.
Nicely said. Mr. Misra, isn't 1 year too short to achieve anything? Before a mayor settles down in the seat, it is time for him or her to pack up and go. You were a key member of ABIDE, Agenda for Bengaluru Infrastructure Development. What did ABIDE try to do to change the situation?
So ABIDE essentially came about when Mr. Yediyurappa became the chief minister. BJP in its manifesto promised, in fact I was part of that manifesto, and we ensured that Bangalore's governance is absolutely needs a relook. Currently Bangalore is governed by KMP Act, Karnataka Municipality Act, which is 1976, is totally inadequate to handle the mega city like Bangalore. So we proposed, ABIDE was set up by the chief minister, he is also the chairman of ABIDE, and we were given the mandate to come up with a comprehensive development plan of Bangalore as well as the governance plan. So we came out with Namma Bengaluru 2020, the plan, the infrastructure, the culture, the heritage. At the same time, we also came up with a bill which government is supposed to discuss and pass. We have given several recommendations. One includes longer term for the mayor, directly elected mayor. We do not want this selection process. We want a person whom Bangaloreans elect. Only if you look at the direct election of US President. US President has to work really hard and get himself popular among Americans, whole of America, and then only he kind of commands responsibility as well as respect. We wanted some similar structure. Most of the cities in the world are having directly elected mayor.
What is the term you have suggested?
We have suggested 5 years. Okay. And unfortunately, I am told the ministers who are in charge for Bangalore and the MLAs are not letting this bill pass, because they feel by having a directly elected mayor, their control of the city will go. I think people should realize city governments are as important as state governments. In case of Karnataka, if Bangalore goes down, Karnataka goes down, and unfortunately we never have chief minister from Bangalore. If a person who is not from the city will not be able to understand, and chief minister has a lot of responsibility, he has the responsibility of the state. So Bangalore needs its administrator, its mayor who understands Bangalore, who is a city leader. Who is the city leader today?
But Ms. Misra, the government is sitting over your report. You are a member of BJP. Your own government has said in its election manifesto that it would bring in a legislation for a long-term mayor.
Yes.
What happens? You are an insider. You have to tell us.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate part. I think people whom we speak. Let me just give you an example how things work here. So we convinced Mr. Suresh Kumar, who's the law minister as well as the minister of urban development. It is his responsibility to convince his colleague in the cabinet and bring this bill which gets passed. So we convinced him, and he has been telling that no, we need to convince MLAs, we need to convince this, we need to. So we said, okay, why don't you call a meeting, let all the MLAs come, whosoever else wants to come, and we will detail the provisions and we will convince people that it is good for the city. In fact, it is good for them also. meeting was called, he came. Out of 28 MLAs of Bangalore, only one MLA showed up, Mr. Vijay Kumar of Jayanagar. Nobody else came. It was most embarrassing, and Suresh Kumar is a very senior member of the BJP. He is a minister, very important minister of this government. MLAs just didn't show up, and what we hear afterwards, that there was huge lobbying by some people who are in charge of Bangalore that nobody should go. He was embarrassed, he apologized, and he just went back, and nothing happened after that. So, I think if BJP or any other party for that matter, if they have made a promise in manifesto, I think they should deliver on it. Or if they think they have made a mistake of making a promise, they cannot deliver, they should simply go and apologize to public. I am sorry, I made a promise, I cannot do it, that is it. Making a promise, not doing it, and keep telling that I will do it, I think if BJP does not do, I would request people of Bangalore in the 2013 election, you ask your MLA that why did you not deliver on the promise you made last time, and why should I vote you back? How do I believe that you are going to deliver next time? I think people need to ask these very important questions. Only then things will happen.
That's nice.